Welcome to Pure Fuckery, the podcast. I am your host. It's your favorite Dr. Bay, Monique Ross. In today's episode, I am joined by a special guest co-host. I got my homegirl here, Miss Ebony, host of the Operating Room.
Hello.
Dr. Ebony, Miss EV. Welcome to Pure Fuckery, the podcast, yo. Welcome.
Me.
Thank you for coming out. I absolutely appreciate you being here, sharing in my energy space.
Yes.
And, we've been going back and forth. We finally sitting here,
We're here.
getting ready to hash it out on a number of different topics that I came up with. Got a slew of questions because the people want to know. I want to know. The first order of business, Miss Ebony, first and foremost, say what's up to the fuckers out there, man. Say what's up to my peoples out there.
What's going on? It's me, the doctor.
Yes, for you guys who don't know, Ebony hosts her own podcast, The Operating Room. It's a podcast about sex,
love, relationships, communication between all those things. Just trying to break down taboo topics, basically. A lot of people tell me things that they're not even comfortable enough telling their mate.
Right.
And that's crazy to me. Like, your mate, you should be... Ultimately, that should be the most comfortable you should feel.
Ever.
They never tell their mate. They always come and tell me, and that's kind of how things got started. So,
all right, I love it. Help. Just here to help. So, how, as far as here to help, your background, you're a certified sexpert, aren't you?
I'm not certified.
Okay.
No, not at all. This is really, to be honest, self-proclaimed, and it started so long ago. I'm very happy that I'm even still in this space and in this energy, and people still listen and still ask me questions and things like that. But I started a very long time ago.
Okay.
I did some satellite series shows. I interned for Clear Channel. So I've always been on the mic or around the mic some kind of way.
Okay.
And I do host at parties, at clubs, at bars, and things like that. So I'm always being asked questions and always on the mic. So I figured I'd put those two together, and that's how the podcast came about.
Dope. I love it. So you got the first thing on the menu. You got these cum towels. I'm just gonna jump right into it. Did you bring?
I totally bought you a present.
I needed that last night. Where was it last night?
Totally. So don't use your decoration towels. Don't even use your regular towels. Use this.
Yes.
So everybody, ultimately I ask everybody, how do you clean up after sex?
Yeah.
And that's how this came about. Everybody needs a cum towel next to their bed. So you keep them in a warmer. You can wash them, of course. Keep it with some warm water on there and just use it.
I love it. I love the idea.
Use it again. Clean it, use it again. You're always going to need one. With the right guy. You're always going to need one. Oh, this is upside down. But you're always going to need one. If you don't need one when you're with a guy, then kick him out.
Kick him out.
But yeah, this
immediately.
Is the Pure Fuckery. Thanks again for having me.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Kick him out immediately. Kick him out if he needs the towel too soon.
Kick him out quickly. If he's quick, kick him out quick.
Let me tell you something. I jokingly say I needed this last night, but I did need it last night. And it was one of those quick situations. But let me explain. And the reason I didn't just because I couldn't kick him out because I was at his place.
Okay.
But why I didn't leave. Let me tell y'all why I didn't leave. Because this person has never happened. It's never been.
Okay, so normally when you guys have sex, it's a pretty substantial amount of time. This time, he was a little quicker than normal.
I think it's because of the time that's been between the last time.
Okay, so you like, I ain't felt that in a while.
So yeah, it's been a few years, and I just was like, kind of like the build up because the conversation has been going on for several weeks now, and then finally we get into this space, and it just.
He should have went for round two. Look, we did.
But that first one, I was like,
it's like, what happened? You okay?
Like, no, bro. But it's all good. TMI, I know y'all. I share way too much.
No, you just get them in the zone again.
Get them in the zone
again. You handle your business. Get them hot and bothered, and generally they're ready for round two.
Yeah, y'all heard that? Y'all ready for round two?
Wouldn't have been ready for round two.
Oh, I'm out the door. If it's no round two after, if we only win a couple minutes and I'm gonna leave. I ain't got time. I don't have time for that bullshit.
Yeah.
So, love and lust. Want to talk about love versus lust.
Ooh, is there a difference?
Is there a difference? What do you think?
Difference? The only difference is what part of the body. They're both emotions. Obviously, the heart is just controlled. Love is just controlled with the heart. Lust is controlled with your genitals. That's the only difference.
Okay.
Other than that, it's really the same thing.
Really the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Absolutely, really the same emotion.
I can dig it.
Yep.
I can definitely dig it. Have you ever been in a situation where you were confused as to what it was? Were you ever in a situation? Because I have, where I've confused
the two?
Lust for love, and that's my problem. This is the problem. There's no in between for me. I either like you, or no, I either love you, or there's nothing.
Or there's something else. Okay.
It's always like I love you, or I there's nothing.
I've never been in that situation, only because, again, the two are different only with which body part led you to that.
Right.
You know, it's like, to be honest, I'll think of it like this. If something happened, Lord forbid, he was in a car accident and he couldn't use his genitals anymore, will I still love him to the end of time? If the question is absolutely not, because his genitals is what's keeping me with him, then that's just lust. That's it. That's the only question you need to ask yourself to figure out the difference between the two. If you will love him regardless of what happens, and this is if he gains weight, if he loses hair, if he loses his job, if he loses genitals, and you still willing to be with him for the remaining of time, then you absolutely love him. Other than that, yeah, it's purely lust.
I think there's only one person where I can honestly say that I was riding till the wheels fell off. Like,
I don't care if this nigga feet stink.
Like
it
could absolutely anything. Like, I would have still been in it. Like, and people get pissed at me, like, when I have these conversations about love and lust and shit like that, where I'm just like, there's only one person where I know for a fact it was absolute love. And then I'll turn around and say, was it, you were married? Was it with your husband? It wasn't.
First of all, mind a business that pays you is what I would tell people. Sometimes I'm a little mean, so. But, I mean, I think a lot of times when women, especially when we get married, there's some sort of emotional attachment there. Now, that could be mistaken for love.
Yeah.
Lust can't, but that could be mistaken for love. Because naturally, if you're around somebody and y'all sleeping together, whatever the case is, you're going to have some sort of connection to that person.
Right.
That's what sometimes we mistake as love.
Right.
And it couldn't be. But, I mean, honestly, I've probably been in love twice my whole life. Have I loved men? Yeah.
Yes.
Probably about 10 of them, sure.
Yeah.
But in love with them? Just two. And those are the two that at the time, I would have rolled the wheels off forever. Looking back now, it was really only one, and that was my first love. But everybody else, I probably got love for you. Got some feelings for you. I might even care about you, but in love with, that's a completely different thing.
Yeah. And I guess in hindsight, you might want to, like the question that you posed, if this person lost this, and this, are you still going to love? Or are you still going to be there?
Still going to be there.
You know, and when you said that, it kind of, I'm just sitting here, I listened to you say it, and I'm like, that's a great way to look at things. And I see myself in the very near future asking myself that question in different scenarios when I'm in situations. And the thing about me is, when I say like love, like I tell everybody I love them, because I do. Like I that's me. I spread love. It's always mad love. Yeah. And that's my problem when it comes to the male species. Because
you telling everybody you love them,
and not everybody, but I'll tell them I'll say I love you eventually.
You sounded like not truthful.
Eventually, I'll say I love you, and it's not that I don't love you, but let's go with I love you versus I'm in love with you. There's definitely a difference.
Or I'll start saying like I'm developing feelings for you, or I care about you. But me, it's very hard to get me to say I love you.
Really?
Like that was one of the arguments. I'm divorced now, but that was one of the arguments I had. I was married for 15 years. Oh, wow. That was one of the arguments that it was. Like, to be honest, I didn't hear it a lot growing up. I didn't start utilizing it a whole lot until I had my children.
Okay.
So it was kind of like, it's something I particularly had to learn because of my own background. But as far as a man, like it's hard to get that out of me. I take it very, very seriously, and so I hardly ever say it.
Okay.
It's more like, you know what, I really do care about you, or I'll say I really have, you know, these strong emotions or something like that. But love, nah, it takes me a while.
See, I don't know how to water it down and say I'm fond of you. I have strong feelings for you, but I guess I just go shoot for the jugular every fucking time. I love you.
Oh, see, yeah. No,
but then I'll say I'm not in love with you, like all the time. Like I love you, but I'm not in love with you. But that's just me. You know, she's a
completely different beast, though. In love, that's a completely different beast.
Yeah.
I try not to use love that much. I don't want to use it loosely, and like I said, it's very, very, very important to me. And I don't want somebody to think I love them. Somebody told me that after like 3 months of dating, and it freaks me out because I'm like, I don't know if you know me. I don't run, but it's very hard for me to say it back, so I try not to. I'll be like, you know what? The dog is out here frying some eggs. I'm gonna call you right back. I'll say something like that because it's almost like I don't know if you know me well enough to love me.
Right.
You probably love what we're doing right now, but guess what? At the beginning of every relationship,
it's always blissful. Yes.
Yeah, so you probably love some of the tricks I can do in the bedroom, but I don't know if you love me. You probably love the doctor, but I don't know if you love Ebony.
Right.
So it's hard to get me to say love. So
all right, I feel it. I understand it, and I can't relate though, because I just
the opposite.
You know, completely opposite. I love you. I love everybody, and people say, and the thing is, it's reciprocated. Mm. You know, and I think that's where the confusion lies. And I guess it's so easy for me to say it because I grew up in a household like my mom always, I love you. Even my dad, okay. You know, as you know, stern as he was, it still he always told us he loved us. And I do it with my kids. I tell my boys I love them 50 zillion times. And
no, my kids can get it. Like I said, I didn't really start using it until I had my kids. Yeah. They can get it. So it's more like I'm really comfortable telling the people that came out of my vagina I love them. But if you're trying to go in my vagina, it's kind of like, I don't know if I love you. I certainly love what you're doing down there. Don't ever stop that. But I don't know if I love you per se. So maybe that's lust.
The people that came out of my vagina versus the people going in my vagina.
You got to work a little harder to get me to say it.
I'm weak. All right, I feel it. I feel it. Definitely. Let's talk about red flags.
Ooh, Lord.
Red flags, especially early on when you know.
I'm too toxic. I did the red flags is more of it's never a red flag. It's not a stop. It's not a red light.
Is it a challenge for you?
It's a challenge for me.
I'm the same way. I like what is it? The meme. I like to see how red them flags can get. That's me.
I'm toxic. So yeah, the red flags aren't really red. I mean, if it's something. If it's a turn off, that's completely different. Like if it's something like that, and I'm like, this ain't gonna go nowhere because I can't get past that. So I guess in a sense that definitely would be a red flag. But most of the time, if it's something simple or something like this is a challenge. I can get you to change your mind about it, and not in an evil way, but just like let me present this other option or these other side of things.
Right. Maybe
we can come to an agreement. And 9 times out of 10, it don't be a red flag at all. They'll change it up.
Do you find yourself ending up in trouble trying to present different options, or do you find yourself landing in hot water when you try to like change somebody's perception?
No, because I'm always coming out for a place of kind of love and positivity. It's more like, let me just present this to you, or hey, we can do this or this, or instead of doing that, you know, do you want to try doing this? It's more of just an option, and it's not even what you do, or it's kind of like how you do it. It's the way you present it to it. In order to get somebody to receive it, I have to give it to them a proper way. I can't give you and him and her and him the same message. Ultimately, everybody's different, so I give it to you the way I know you can receive it, and generally it comes off pretty good. And
it's received well.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Cancer.
You're a Cancer.
Just like loyal and nasty. I'm
loyal
a Cancer.
And nasty.
And I'm emotional, and I am an empath. I feel a lot of different people's energy. So if I steer clear of something, it's just because I didn't feel feel that vibe. Like I vibrate on a certain plane. And so if you're on a different plane or a lower plane, I tend to not be around it because I'm not going to be received.
You're not going to lower your vibration.
I'm a reflective sign. I'm a water sign. So whatever you give me, I'm going to give it back. And I'm either 0 or 100. I'm never in between. I'm either always cool, calm, collected, kind of funny, kind of goofy, or I'm pissed off to the max and I'm like a fucking pit bull. You can't get me off your ass. I'm either one or the other. So it's just that's my personality though. But other than that, like I said, I'm pretty fun loving. I'm pretty positive for the most part. Like I said, I like to have fun and stuff like that. Okay. So I don't breed a lot of negative energy, and I don't want negative energy around me, so I stay away from it.
All right. With that being said, she's a Cancer, y'all.
Hey,
what's
69.
your beef with Leos?
Oh my God!
I scrolling your timeline, your social media. You have beef with Leos, and I really want to know what this beef with Leos are. Leos are fire signs.
Okay.
And I'm a fire sign.
I'm gonna put their asses out. That's what happens. I'm a water sign. So now this is crazy. Female Leos, I have them all around me.
Okay.
Right? My bestie, my sisters, they're all Leos, right? Their birthday is right after mine.
Okay.
So the female Leos are cool.
Okay.
I can dig them. I can get with them. It's the male Leos, and let me just be honest, it was just one.
It was just one. It's hard. You hate the hoes.
I just hate all the Leos for the beginning of time. So no. That's really just kind of me just being pissed off at the moment at a particular Leo. But what I come to find out is when you're around somebody or you mating with somebody, I say that a lot, I'm finna mate with this person. When you mating with somebody and you pick up on certain things and you start looking in their zodiac, you're like, you know what? This is true about them. This is true about, I don't even like him, come to find out. So and that's how it came out. But it's all love. And, you know, I'm a woman that definitely believes, like I said, in positive energy and love. So, I mean, if you love me, I'm going to love you. I don't care what sign you is. You know what I'm saying? Come hell or high water. But that was one particular situation, 3-year situation. I'm just trying to get out of my system at this point.
I feel you. I definitely feel you on that. I have Leos around. My dad's a Leo. My grandma was a Leo. My young ex was a Leo, or is a Leo. And I had to really take a step back after that situation with him. And like, even right here, right now, and we've had this conversation where I could have walked away hating, like harboring hate and shit. And I decided not to. And like, I could hate the whole, like you, I could have this beef with the whole zodiac sign, but it's like, it's not even worth it, because at the end of the day, you know, I walked away. It was a lesson learned. It was an absolute lesson learned. And, you know, we live and we learn. And that's what life is all about to me. You know,
well, I'm toxic. I don't care what he say. This ain't over. No, I'm just kidding. It's over when I'm done.
It ain't that simple for you. You ain't that forgiving.
Disattached is when we'll be over.
That's when that beef will be over. All right, okay.
No, but I don't have any real beef with him. That was just I was going through a breakup at the time, so I was
scrolling up your timeline on Facebook, I think, and I was like, she straight got beef with Leos, man. No, but other than that, like I said, I'm cool, calm, and collected with them. Just, you know, was going through something like, let me just throw this out here. You know, sometimes we do that. Let me put this on her so he can call me and say something. I feel you.
You know, when you argue more, the makeup sex is better. So I figure let me just start something.
When you argue more, the makeup sex is better.
Absolutely.
Do y'all agree with that, fuckers? Let me know. Drop it off in the comments. Let me know if y'all agree with this shit.
The makeup sex is fire now. If y'all say it ain't, I know you lying.
Makeup sex is good. It's great, man.
We needed 2 cum towels, baby. The makeup sex is good. He young too. Come here, young Leo. Now I'm finna call him. Look what you did.
The toxicity of it all.
I blame you for whatever happens tonight.
She said, I'm calling him down. All right. Next question. Spit or swallow?
Oh my gosh. Honestly, it depends on what daddy wants. And it depends on our relationship level.
Okay.
Do you get special privileges? Daddy does. Anybody else, side situations, not really. I mean, if I'm really drunk, you could get it off possibly, but generally not. But yeah, whatever daddy wants, I'm gonna do. I'm definitely a pleaser. And that's part of a Cancer. We're a nurturer. We want to make sure you're okay. We want to make sure you're good. We want to make sure you're happy. We want to make sure you're taken care of. So that's definitely part of my nature. So yeah, come on, bring me them quintuplets. I'm gonna swallow them all if that's what daddy want. If that's what daddy want, I'm gonna give it to him.
She love the kids.
Listen, I love the kids. Young daycare, little young throat daycare.
Speaking of spitting or swallow, have you ever snowballed?
Oh, I haven't. You know, there's so many things sexually that can be done. And there's so many things that people say, oh, this is taboo and this is nasty and all that. But guess what? Nothing's new under the sun. Eventually, I think everything will be done, especially with the right partner. If you're with somebody for a umpteen amount of years and married or whatever, eventually I think everything's going to be done because there's nothing really new under the sun. There's only so many things we can do.
Like just being with that person, I think it's for me, being with the person where I feel comfortable enough where I just can completely let my inhibitions go and be present fully in the moment and just kind of anything goes.
That's the ultimate power. I always say women hold the power. Women hold the power. The ultimate power is relinquishing all control to somebody else. That's the turn on in it. So it's like, you know what, I'm gonna be completely submissive to daddy, whatever daddy wants. Because at the end of the day, I'm giving you ultimate control and power over my body, over myself, my trust, everything.
Yeah, and that's what I was getting ready to say. That's complete trust when you can relinquish all control and give it to someone. And y'all know me, I have control issues and trust issues and all that shit. But I've been in situations sexually where I was capable of letting go and releasing those inhibitions and just being free in the moment.
You felt comfortable.
Yes, being in someone's presence, the importance of being with someone that you feel safe with. Man,
it's nothing like it.
There's no limits. There's no limits. Yes. All right, so snowballed. I know somebody out there is like, what is snowballed? Because I didn't know what snowballed was until recently. So break it down what snowball is.
You break it down. You ask me questions, tell me to break it down.
Go ahead.
Do whatever you want in the bedroom. I'm
gonna break it down. So
she's nasty.
I'm gonna break it down then. Nasty. Snowballing is when you when you take the cum in your mouth. And then you and your partner share a kiss.
You're gonna share
and exchange those bodily fluids with your partner.
I think once you been with somebody so long, because if you think about it, there's just so many. Sex is nasty. It's a nasty, delicious, good time. Yes. So I think once you've been with somebody for so long, you're gonna pretty much do a little bit of anything and everything. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's on accident, if it's on a drunk night, I don't care if they say, you know what, I'm just not gonna lick no ass. When he drunk and he back there,
he gonna do whatever.
You just dip
and
down
some
a little
men
bit,
they don't even have to be drunk to do it. They just do it.
Yeah.
I've come across some guys where
everybody's doing it almost.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Because people after Kevin Gates, kind of brung it out in his lyrics, there everybody thought, hey, this is something new. But let me tell you, they've been doing that since the beginning
of time.
Yeah, they've been doing it. You might have to get somebody a little older, but they've been doing it.
I agree. I agree. Speaking of things that accidentally happen when drunk or whatever, anal sex. I'm not going to share who, but I have someone close to me where she's never experienced anal sex.
Does she want to?
Let me tell you the story.
Okay.
And they were drinking, alcohol involved. Ooh. And I guess it got so slippery. I don't know, but somehow, some way, she ended up having anal sex, like for a brief moment. And she swears she's like, I died 1,000 deaths.
Yep. Coconut oil.
I've had so coconut oil. That's
coconut oil. It's natural. Coconut oil you can use to put chapstick on. You can use it to cook with. You can use it for anal sex. It's natural. So
I've used it for everything but anal sex. But I'm not a fan of the anal sex though.
Okay.
And only because I've had a very bad experience. And I won't say bad. I tried anal sex with someone. I won't say who, but we tried. This was several years ago. And it was like we were completely drunk. Like we planned this too. Like we went out, so you guys we went to a party, like dressed up, went to the club, got fucking shit faced. And on the way home, like he's driving, I'm like sucking him off in the car on the way home.
Okay, we gonna do this.
We stop at White Castles. In the drive-thru, he's like, they can see you. I didn't stop. Like we ordered food, got to the window, I didn't stop. Get home, it's all hot and heavy, and we've agreed this is the night we're going to have anal sex. And yeah, man, my fingertips, my toenails, the tip of my nose, my ears, my scalp, everything hurts.
Oh, so maybe.
And we used we had some KY, and it was just the most unpleasant sexual experience. Like we got it in, and I was just like, don't move. So
she's like, nope, this ain't for me. Oh gosh. You know what I normally say first and foremost, since you guys planned it out, this wouldn't affect things, but the female almost has to want to do it first, because it's very uncomfortable at first. So you almost have to at least want to try it. When you have a surprise and a pop up, like your friend, like, oh my God, it's in there. It's almost in your head at that point. So it's not even necessarily physical. It's just in your head. Like, that shit hurt. I ain't doing that shit no more.
Right.
But ease your way into it, because it is a painful situation at the very beginning. Ease your way into it. Try it a couple times. Let them get it open. Use anal beads. I have anal beads, so if I have to use them to kind of open it up first, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Have them rim you first, because there's a lot of nerves back there.
Right.
So it really, to me personally, it ultimately feels so good just the rimming, because there's so many nerves back there. So once you actually get it in, and if you hit that A spot, that's better than a G spot.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's actually right there in the same surface, but that's almost better than a G spot orgasm. So it once you get through it, if you can live through it, once you get through it, it's absolutely pleasurable.
I don't think I'm gonna ever try again. And here's the reason why. I'm finna give y'all some more TMI. At 40 years old, my body is doing shit that's, you know,
it wasn't doing it.
It wasn't doing it at first.
Well,
so several years ago,
he was 40.
Yeah, several years ago when I first tried it, you know, I was early 30s. Now at 40, a bitch got hemorrhoids and shit.
She's like, don't dare get by my ass.
Like, I have anal beads. I love anal beads. I love an occasional finger back there when, you know, in the moment and shit. It's great. But even now, an occasional finger irritates and flares up my hemorrhoids. So fuck y'all. Y'all judging me. I know y'all judging me.
But that's physical. So that's a little bit more understandable.
Yeah, man.
That's physical. We don't want, you know, we are getting older, so we don't want our bodies breaking down, but we definitely want to make sure we're getting the most pleasure out of it's an experience. That's what sex is.
It definitely is. And y'all know with me, it's called the full Monique experience.
Hey.
I'm talking shit, but no, that's what I call it. The full Monique experience. If you've been blessed to receive the full Monique experience, trust me. No, I'm talking shit, man. Shout out to my man's Big Stu producing the episode while I'm up here talking shit, man. Shout out to Big Stu. If you're looking to get a podcast, start a podcast, need podcast production, if you need content creation, photography, hit my DMs, hit Big Stu Media, Big Stu Films on Instagram. It's a one-stop shop if you're looking to create content. So anyhow, moving on. We coming off anal sex. You know, I'm gonna bring it back. We're off all things anal. For the moment. Letting go of a toxic partner. How do you give us some tips? Give us some recommendations on how do you get out of that? Because you said several times already that you're toxic yourself. We all have toxic traits. We all have toxic traits about us. But when you're in a situation, and I guess my thought process is it's easier said than done.
Definitely.
If you know that the situation is toxic, people will be like, well, just leave, just walk away. That's just like being in an abusive relationship and shit like that. What do you recommend? Or, you know,
well, first let me say this: when these people that tell us these things are generally family and friends, right? Number one, don't listen to them, listen to you.
Yes. Okay.
That's number one. Number two is what most people don't understand, and this is why I don't need to hear anything from the outside. This is unless it's like the creator or advisor, a spiritual advisor, or something like that. Other than that, family and friends, no, because they probably more toxic than you or been in a worse relationship or a situation than you had. So we don't really need to listen to our peers. We can vent to them, but we don't necessarily need their advice. Only because everything you need to know is inside of you. So you walk your own path and what you're feeling, and that's what I do.
Agree.
Okay. But 9 times out of 10, people don't realize that even if you're in a toxic relationship, once that relationship is over, you grieve or mourn no different than if it was a healthy relationship that's over. It's the exact same thing. So the factor that it was toxic doesn't make a difference.
Right.
The difference is if it's time to let go because you feel that way, not because somebody told you, but if it's time to let go, then you have to come to a point of acceptance and move on. That's the hard part. That's the hard part. Because we're going to be honest, toxic relationships are generally more fun, a little bit better.
Always.
The sex is better. They have all these great factors to it, but the downside is that it's toxic, right? So that's it. And I'm going to go on to say, and I wasn't going to even, I don't even know why I'm saying this.
Say
but
it.
Somebody called me toxic twat, right?
Toxic twat.
Toxic twat.
That's the name of the
like,
episode.
Hey, no, really. And I said, what made you say that? And he said, you know what? I really was going to be done with you. It's just so much going on back and forth between us. But at some point, like, I just come over here. He like, I'm not going to even leave. Just come over here. I'm not going to let you go. Like, and it's just really because the sex is so intense, especially coming off of an argument. And it's like the way this man checked me so respectfully, so much of a man. He got me all the way together. And so, look, this is what I'm going to do. This is what you're going to do. And this is what we're going to do to fix it. I'll call you when I get off work. When he got off work, baby, let me tell you everything he wanted me to do, I had done. He did everything right as far as having an actual argument. He made it to be not an argument. He made it a conversation.
I love it.
And he said, hey, I don't like when you leave me out of things. I don't care if it's what's going on with your body, what's going on, whatever. If we doing this and we doing it raw, then I give a fuck about you.
I need to know.
I need to know what's going on. So, and I'm just like, oh, nobody want to tell somebody? Or he like, no, you can tell me everything. And at the end of the day, like I said, he checked me so respectfully. I started like, I was damn near thought I was gonna love him.
This is what popped in my head when you said that. He checked me in ways that the ego didn't mind.
What you said, little
He
toxic
checked me in ways that the ego didn't mind. That's what popped up in my head when you said that. I love it.
Very, very
we all need those people.
Well, I love a man that can control me because I'm out of control a lot of time. I can't control myself, nor do I want to. I just do what I want.
Out of control, exactly.
So it's almost like if you can kind of tame me, if you can kind of control me, that's the ultimate turn on for my personality type. Because sometimes I do just say what I want to do, and you can't do that all the time in every situation.
Right.
In some situations, I found out the hard way. You can't do everything and say everything. Doesn't even warrant you to say anything back to, in a sense. So as you grow and get older, of course, you figure that out. But
no, you don't. I'm 40 years old and I'm still doing this shit. I'm still saying and doing whatever the fuck I want to do when I want to do it. And I was having a conversation with my ex-husband. I don't know if I shared this before, but we were talking and I asked him, I said, what advice would you give to a man if he came to you and says, hey, I'm gonna propose, I'm gonna ask her to marry me, what would be the advice that you would give this man as far as dealing with me? And the first thing he said is, you can't control her, so just let her do what the fuck she go do.
See, I don't know about that because I'm gonna be honest, it'll be more like you couldn't control me, but he can. So, I mean, depending on who it is, because honestly, I've had a guy, and this was a guy, and I actually love telling this story. This guy I met him through this chat room. There's a whole bunch of friends in the chat room, and somebody had introduced us in a sense. And I said, you know what? He's really not my type. I like them young guys. I like them long dreads. I like that brown skin. And he was the opposite of this. He was older than me, and he's like bald at the top. And it was too much. I'm like, I'm definitely not attracted to this guy. But sexually, he was saying some things that I was attracted to. I'm like, you gonna control her? So he's piquing my interest at this point, but I'm not physically attracted to him at all. So 2 months go past, he's calling, and he's on Messenger doing a little video chat, and I'm just talking to him, hey, don't kind of want to say, I'm really not interested in you because I'm not attracted to you, but just kind of talking, so we're kind of being friends and stuff like that. Time goes on, like I said, a couple months. One day, my friends come and get me. They say, hey, we drunk, let's go outside. I said, well, I just got out of the shower, my hair is wet, I got on a moo-moo, it's the summertime. They're being goofy because they drunk. I get in the car with them. We start all drinking. He video chats me. And so my friend said, hey, what are you doing? Can we come over there? He's like, yeah, come over. And I'm like, oh, I don't like this nigga. I don't want to go to his house. I never been to his house. I don't like him. Now what are you doing? And she's like, go over there. Go over. Let's go over there. So we go over there. And when I tell you that they left, and
were you still in your muumuu?
I was still in my muumuu. I was no makeup, no nothing. Very just got out the shower, wet hair, wet. Still in my muumuu. Go over there, and I did not leave there for 3 days.
Oh wow!
He took me home. We got close. I stayed there for three days, and we ended up having a year-long relationship.
Wow.
And to this day, I tell him, you're one of the only men that ever was kind of able to kind of rope me in and control me in a sense. I don't know if it, like I said, if it was because he was older or just the things that he was doing to my body. And I've done some of my most experiences with him also. So he very much can get it right now. Call me. If you want to marry me, just tell me. I'll do it. I don't
Hit her line. Hit Dr. Ebony's line, sir. Whoever you are, wherever you are.
He's definitely number one. So whenever he wanted, he can call. But at this point, we just got to learn to be friends. But that, like I said, everybody can't do it. And I would have never thought in a million years it would be him. But I mean, with everything, with exercise and everything. He said, hey, didn't you say you wanted to go to the gym? Oh, okay, what you doing? Go
Get
to the
your
gym.
ass to the
Let's
gym.
go. You know what I'm saying? And I was studying for my test at the time for the state for my pharmacology test. And he's like, where's your books and stuff? I'm like, oh, they in my truck, you know. And I'm just in his house. And he's like, oh, okay, give me your keys. He went and got my books out of my trunk of my truck, brought them into his house. And he like, here you go. You said you needed to study. What are you doing?
Right. Get
and
on
so
your
he was on me. And when I tell you, right now to this day, if he ever said, hey, let's get back in a serious situation, or even if he said marry me, I probably would.
You're going to drop whatever you got going on.
It don't even matter because he's number one. So
wow. Why did it end? What happened?
Honestly, it was such a good relationship. And then there was one thing that transpired. This I don't want to go necessarily into, but it was pretty deep. And so I said, hey, is this what's really happening? And he lied immediately. He said no. And I was like, and this was involving family and stuff like that. So it was something that was very near and dear to me. And it hurt so bad because even though it was involving family, if you would have been honest about the situation, I felt like we could have possibly got over it. But by you lied about it, it had me in awe because I've never known this man to be a liar.
Right, and you knew the truth.
I knew, like I had his cell phone before in my purse. We'll go places. He'll drop his cell phone in my purse or his keys and stuff. Like I never had any reason to question him about anything. I never had any reason to do anything. We were always together. So it was mind-boggling. It hurt really bad. And so ultimately it just was what it was. So
okay.
That's all. But if everything, if all the stars had ever lined up, then it's a go. I'll be back there.
All right. We gonna stay tuned for what's next. Maybe he'll see this episode and he'll call. Maybe he gonna call.
Call me, sir.
Call her.
No, I throat burglarized him one time.
Burglarized. What is throat? I have an idea in my head.
Listen, if you my man, I'm a throat burglar. If I don't have keys to your
burglar.
place, I will come in through that sliding door in the back. I hope you leave it locked. He didn't in this case. I will come in through that sliding back door. Surprise! I'm finna suck your dick, nigga. Get up. We finna play. And I think he almost shot me. He said he was gonna get a restraining order because that was a little too much for me to break in his house. But at the end of the day, I'm a throat burglar. So that, hey, if you want to fool with me, that's what you're gonna get, a throat burglar. If I'm out
throat burglar,
I'm
not throat baby.
Not
throat
a throat
burglar.
baby. That's for children. I'm a throat burglar. I'm a grown woman. So if I want it, I'm coming in. I'm coming to get it.
Oh wow.
You know, and I'm gonna take care of it. And I did. And we had a great night.
Had a great night.
Throat burglar, yeah.
You got a little jingle.
Yeah. Look, throat baby is for kids. I'm a grown woman. Throat burglar.
I'm hollering. Throat burglar, which leads me to the next segue. So you're a self-proclaimed sex enthusiast.
I'm an enthusiast, definitely.
What does that mean? Where does it stem from? Where does it stem from? Have you, as far like virginity? How old were you when you lost your virginity?
It was 2 months before my 17th birthday, so 16.
16?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so as far as, like, have you always been, like, a sexual being?
Absolutely.
Always?
Absolutely. I don't know. To be honest, and this is going to probably sound weird, you guys, but to be honest, it's almost a way to, sex is very powerful. It's not, it's not just physical. It's a lot of things that most people don't really equate with sex, but sex is a way for me to get my anxiety under control. It's a way for me to manifest myself having a good week. In a sense, a lot of people practice tantra. Some people don't because they feel like it's black magic. But to be honest, in my situation, it worked. I can manifest positive energy or positive things during an orgasm. So I utilize it a lot. I need it. It fuels me. It makes me more productive, in a sense. And when I was younger, a lot of people said, "No, you're just a hoe. You just realize." I mean, I was like, "No, I've only been with a couple men. Like, I'm not a hoe. My sex drive is high.
Right.
I want to have sex as much as possible." And looking at periods of my life when I was having a whole lot of sex, everything. I mean, my skin was clearer. My weight was down. You know, I was smiling in all my pictures. You know what I'm saying? So in that sense, when I see all these positive effects come from it, it fueled me to want it more.
More.
Yeah, I'm moist right now. You know, but I'm gonna have to wait till tonight.
Am I making you moist?
Sexy. You are
but I'm not
sexy,
making
but
you
you're
moist.
not making me moist. I might be the wine. It could be you. I'm not sure. All I know is when I get home, I'm gonna call Daddy tonight. That's what I do know. I'm moist right now, but again, my sex drive is so high.
I agree.
I can't do it. I can literally have sex every day, but there's so many more positive benefits to it than people just say, "Hey, basically you're just a freak." Is what I got coming up.
Yeah.
Basically, you're just a freak, and it's like. Not really, because I'm literally with these one guys for multiple times. I've never even been with a man for a short amount of time.
Right.
Like the shortest I've probably ever been with anybody was a year. After that, maybe 3 to 5 years. I've never been with anybody a really small amount of time.
It's always been long term. All right. I absolutely agree with everything you just said. Like I noticed, like my skin and my attitude, my energy,
better.
just everything.
Do you understand? Just sit and just think. Everybody out there, just sit back and like. Go like 2 or 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks without having sex. You are angrier. You pissed off about everything. You're throwing shit. Get this water. Wash the motherfucking dishes, kids. You know what I'm saying? But when I release all that negative energy, I'm able to think clearer. And I'm able to just go and get business taken care of. So if I gotta pull over at night and get busy in the car, that's cool. Let's get it on. You know,
let's talk about car sex.
I love car sex.
I love car sex. Car sex is the funniest shit ever, though, man.
I love car sex,
especially if you're in a little car or something.
Well, that's the thing. I have a truck, and in my windows I keep them tint, and I always have my seats down. So it's a little twin bed back there. So I'm always ready. I'm talking about drive in back of the alley. Whatever we gotta do, right? I'm always ready. I got my Cum Towels so we can clean up. You know what I'm saying? On my feminine wipes, you know, so there's never an issue, never a problem. When I'm prepared for everything because I want to get it on and I'm clear about what I want and when I want it. And when it's that time when I'm getting moist, it's like, you gonna have to knock this down.
Knock it down.
Like, I'm gonna come get you. Knock this down.
I'm with the she's with the shits. I'm with the shits. I'm always with the shits. If you know me, I'm like wherever. Like I've had sex in some very questionable places, but it was with somebody that I was with, and it's always it makes it even more fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
It makes it
finding
more fun.
A place is the difficult
the funniest
thing.
shit when you're driving around trying to like.
Downtown?
I have to tell you how this story. Swear to God, this was several years ago. I was in the park. This was with one of my exes, an ex of mine. And we were at the park, at Forest Park. No bullshit. We think we found a spot. So we find this spot and we park and we're having sex. And I bullshit you not. This old creepy guy walks up to the window and he's looking and I'm like, I look back, I'm like, look. And he's like, what? He's outside the window yelling, like, what are y'all doing? I'm like, I thought like I was in a horror movie or something.
You're being nosy.
I literally jumped in the driver's seat, ass naked, and drove off. Drove the fuck off.
You know what? Shout out to all the exes, too. I'm actually going to be talking about that tonight on my show, all the exes. But I've had a cat watch me have sex, and it was the creepiest thing. And I'm like, hey, can you?
I don't like animals watching.
The cat is looking at us. Would you get the cat? Open the door and let the cat out. So it's like, it broke my concentration because the cat is sitting there like, you guys are getting it in. That's how the cat was stirring. I was creeped out.
I hate when my dog is in the room. My dog, Jules, She in the middle of sex, she actually licked a ass, like this guy's ass.
Shout out to Jewel, you know.
He's like, your dog licked my ass. I'm like, get out.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't even know she was in the room. And she makes me really uncomfortable when she's in the room because I feel like she's judging. She, like, my
They're
dog.
definitely watching.
If you know, if you've ever met my dog, you know, like, she just has this human way about her, and like she looks at me with judgmental eyes, and like I feel uncomfortable, so I have to kick her out the room. Yeah, like that's how I feel sometimes. That's how I feel. I hate animals watching me have sex.
Yeah, it's creepy. It was creepy. The cat situation was creepy, but no, I've never been. Yeah, I've never been like caught in the car. I don't know. I like it. Like I said, I'm with the shit, so it's very strategic. It's like, where we gonna go? We got to be kind of, you know what I'm saying, off to ourselves in a situation. But at that moment, and you're feeling that kind of way, it's like I said, hey, you gonna have to knock this down. I don't care where we at. I've had sex.
She doesn't care.
Everywhere. I've had sex probably everywhere except on an airplane I can think of.
I've joined the Mile High Club.
I see, and I have. It's so tiny up there, and there's so many people.
Joined the Mile High Club. We were on, but we didn't go to the bathroom or anything. We were literally in our seats. It was like 4 people on the plane. And we were in the back.
You guys had
okay. Yeah. Like, and we it just, I don't even know how it happened. It just happened. So I've definitely joined the Mile High Club. Sexy. And it was I guess like just the thought of like, you know, somebody walking past and catching, like we had a blanket, but that happened. Like I've literally, I think I've pretty much done it everywhere it could be done. Except for in Big Sue's studio. Shout out to Big Sue, man. Shout out to Big Sue producing the episode. I have not had sex in Big Sue's studio. Big Sue may have had sex in his studio. I don't know. He's not in the room, so we're not gonna ask him. He'll curse me out. Be like, shut the fuck up, Mom.
Never had sex in here. But yeah, no, I mean it's fun, and also it provides, nobody wants to have sex in the same place all the time.
It gets boring.
Way. Definitely. It provides some, like I said, some spontaneity. Like, hey, that was pretty sexy, you know. So wherever, in the park, I'm Humpty Hump. I got busy in the Burger King bathroom on Kings Highway in Natural Bridge before. Oh wow,
Burger King bathroom. I've not done it in Burger King's bathroom.
If we in the bar and I'm feeling some kind of way, just walk me in the bathroom. Look, we gonna tell them that I'm throwing up. You trying to help me to the bathroom? Like I had it all planned out and everything.
I've had bar sex. I was trying to have sex at the bar one night. And my homegirl, I was like, I announced to the circle of friends, like, I'm going to the bathroom. And she's, my homegirl's with me, and she's like, I'll go with you. And I'm like, no bitch, I don't need you to go with me. And the person is like, I'm like, I don't need you to go with me. She's like, I'll go with you. Like, so she comes with me to the bathroom. And I guess in the midst of the conversation, he had left the table. And she comes with me to the bathroom. And so here I come out the bathroom. Here he comes. I'm like, don't go in there. She's, you know, so-and-so's in there. So, yeah, like, but I've had bar sex. I've had sex at work.
You have to tell them. Like, I don't know, the friend code, though, you should know. Like, if I'm like, I'm going to the bathroom. Like, obviously, if I want us to go to the bathroom. Here's the thing.
This was a situation that nobody could know about. So I couldn't even tell her. Like, it just it was between me and the person that I was planning to have bathroom sex with. The bar bathroom sex with.
Toxic twat. Here we go. Bathroom sex, toxic twats on the next episode.
All right. So Ebony, you talk a lot about sex. You know, you consider yourself a sex enthusiast.
Yeah.
How do you feel, you know, about people's perception of you? And
I don't really give a fuck.
Fuck people.
Fuck people.
Cheers to fuck people. Cheers. Not giving a fuck, man. Be you, do you, live your life. Like this podcast. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me tell you, I was shunned pretty much my whole life. When I was 17, I was going to graduate from high school. Shout out to anybody that graduated in 2000, right? And I wrote in my senior yearbook that when I got older, I wanted to own a strip club, and I was going to do anything I can to own this gentleman club, and it was going to be sexy, and it was going to be high class. I'm talking about the balls I wanted to come out. And my mom seen it, and I fucking got in trouble, right? I'm like, God damn it. She's what type of whore would have wrote this in that class book. You're embarrassing the family name. Shout out to my mom, though, because we talked about it and laughed about it now. But and I just thought to myself, if I would have kept on that path, you guess what? I probably would have owned a pink slip by now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I was shunned for it for so very long and not really understanding it. Well, now, once you come to a certain age, you're able to step into yourself and you're comfortable with yourself.
Yes.
In a sense. So I'm going to be honest. If somebody has an issue just with sex, love, and relationships and communication and trying to make things healthy and better, I didn't say go out to sleep with everybody. Everything I was done was done with my mate. Right. You know what I'm saying? Or was done with a situation I was in with clear communication and instructions. So I'm never giving anybody any negative or wrong information. Everything I say, you can look it up or Google it, right? So I say to that, if you don't like me or what I'm doing, or you think I'm too forward, or no woman should be saying they can tonsil gargle the tip of a man's dick, well, why not? You want me to do it, but you don't want me to talk about it? You don't want me to say it? No, but my platform is for us to communicate. Right. You don't necessarily have to say the things I say, but if you don't like me or don't understand or don't know what I'm doing or don't like what I'm doing, guess what?
You don't have to fucking listen.
It's none of my fucking business.
And you could, could care less about...
If you do not like the doctor, I do not need to know that. That is your personal... You can definitely... You don't have to like me. Everybody's not going to like me. I'm not going to like everybody. You don't have to like me. It's just none of my business.
Right.
So respectfully, keep that shit to your motherfucking self, because I don't give a fuck.
Right.
To be honest, I'm me. I'm happy. My audience is happy. You know what I'm saying? My followers are happy. We're good. We okay over here. So it's okay. I'm not for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
But at the end of the day, my mission is only to, like I said, take taboo topics and communicate them with me. Yes. You don't have to communicate them with me or your friends. I'm talking about communicating with your mates.
Right.
I'm trying to make things happy, healthy, and fun between you and your mate. So that way, you won't have to come to me and ask me anything. I'm trying to make myself get out of a job. I'm trying by helping you and your relationship. And if you ain't down with that and don't like positive, fun, good, energetic, a little bit ratchet, a little bit toxic, but cool people, it's none of my business.
Right.
Keep it to yourself.
I agree. What people think of you is none of what people think of me is none of my concern.
It's none of your business.
I could care less, man. And I say it all the time. And I know sometimes I offend people when I be like, fuck people. Like, who gives a fuck what people think? Like, I finally found the courage to be my authentic self unapologetically. And I just pray and hope that everybody else can do the same.
Yeah, and judgment. I mean, that's why. I mean, everybody judges people. And it's like, how dare anybody judge somebody? It's okay if I'm not for you, but how dare you judge anybody when you probably have more skill? All my shit is out on the table. I talk about it every week.
Every week.
you probably have more going on in a negative factor capacity than I do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm living my life out in front of everybody.
Living out loud, man.
Yeah,
and people,
that's crazy.
I guess people just are uncomfortable, especially when it comes to sex. Because it's such a taboo topic. Mm-hmm. But it's like, it's so freeing to be open and speak freely about it.
It's so freeing to be free.
Yes.
Because when men talk about this stuff, they have hundreds of millions of views. You got to understand that. When we talk about it, not saying that we're supposed to be men, because men and women are completely different. Yes. Other than being human beings, we are different, right? But men can say and do these things that women can't, and that's okay in some situations. And I'm going to go on record as saying that because it is okay in certain situations. I don't want to be a man. I don't want to be viewed one. I don't know who was outside picketing saying, we want equal rights. We want to work too. I don't. I never wanted to be a man.
I don't want to be a man either.
I don't want to be a man. I want to be a woman. We are supposed to be soft.
Yes.
We are. That we're different, right? So we're not trying to be the same, but what I'm saying is if it's to better somebody, if it's talking about better communicating, especially about what I so love dearly,
yes,
sex, love, and relationships, then yeah, I'm going to speak on it. And again, I'm not for everybody. I'm okay with that. So it's no disrespect to anybody, but respectfully, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Respectfully.
And if it's not for you, keep it pushing.
Yeah.
It's
thousands of other
begging you to be a member of my audience. Exactly. Exactly.
As long as it's all respect, like, I'm okay with that.
Agreed. What is your take on threesomes? Do you feel that threesomes can save a relationship?
Absolutely not. Can they save a relationship? Absolutely not. Threesomes, especially when you get to a particular age, well, at any point, but especially when you get to a particular age, threesomes are for fun.
Yes.
It's to spice up the bedroom. That's all it's for.
Right. Not to bring anything. Someone in to save it.
Yeah, save it. I mean, if you're trying to save a rocky relationship by having a threesome, you've already failed. Yes. Just thinking that this is something that's going to help out. It's generally not. And if you're not 100% in the knowing of who you are and who your partner is, having that threesome is going to break y'all down.
Yes.
It's not going to save anything. It's going to hinder it. Threesomes are only utilized for fun. It's a foreplay almost. It's sexy to watch. Women are sexy. So a lot of men want to see two women. I'm a voyeur, so I love watching people have sex. There's men, women, whomever. I like to watch people have sex. There's nothing better than porn other than live porn, right?
Right.
So in my case, there's nothing that can save our relationship except us. And that's it.
All right. I can dig it. Should threesomes be with randoms or people you know?
Oh, that depends on your comfortability level, because I know at one point it was like, you know what, I'm only gonna do this threesome with, the main person I love and da-da-da-da-da-da. And then it's like, wait a minute, I have too much of an emotional attachment there. I'd rather do it with one of my situations.
Right.
There's no attachment there. If something goes awry, I can block and delete this motherfucker and act like I never knew him.
Right. I agree.
So it depends on your own comfortability level and where you at, again, within yourself and with your mate. It kind of just depends on where you at.
All right. I can dig it. I definitely can dig that. I agree with that. Let's talk fetishes.
Ooh, I've heard so many.
What is so wild?
A personal fetish?
What are your personal fetishes?
You know what? I'm kind of. Did I mention at the beginning that I was toxic?
You did.
Okay. I like the whole choking situation because, again, I like somebody to control or dominate me. So I'm very much more like, I want you to command me to please you, in a sense. So that's kind of it. Any type of control thing. I don't like the whole bondage thing because even though I'm toxic, I'm slightly scary. It's like, where is the magical button? If I can't get out, if it's a fire in this motherfucker, how do I get out of this rope? Like, tell me that first. You gotta communicate with me and tell me how this works first before I do it. It's more like that. But anything that's kind of, and I hate to say this like publicly, but anything that's kind of halfway violent, I'm kind of into. Not violent, but just if you're gonna choke me, wonderful. If you're gonna throw me against the wall, pick me up and slam me a little bit. Let's wrestle. You know, I watch wrestling my whole life, so it's just natural that I kind of like it, right?
So you like rough? You like rough?
I like it a little bit rough. Yeah, maybe a little rape fetish here and there, but yeah, I definitely like. I definitely, wow. And I really haven't too much said that publicly, maybe once, but anything I want to know or see. Well, let me put it like this: this is what turns me on. Okay, and we're not gonna play with rape at all because it's a very serious thing, but. Yeah. What turns me on is to see how bad you want me, what you're willing to do. If you're willing to just rip my clothes off, if you're willing to pull up on me after I hung up on you and said I don't want to talk to you, if you going that extra mile, that aggression, that male taking over everything, or just saying like, hey, I'm willing to do anything to get to this pussy. It's almost like, he's so sweet. I'm finna give him some. It's more like that. So
the toxicity of it all.
Toxic, you know what I'm saying? Anytime, like I said, anytime there's an argument, I'm almost turned on. I'm like, he was going off on me. I'm finna cook this.
I'm the same way though. I find myself being the same way, like in arguments and shit. Like the last toxic situation I was in, where it was extremely toxic, and we would be arguing, and because he was so passionate about what he was arguing about. Yeah. I'm not, because I don't argue. It's like I'm just sitting here and I'm listening to you. I'm taking it. But the whole time you're yelling and voicing your opinion about whatever the fuck, the whole time I'm sitting here just like, fuck me.
I'm getting
like, fuck me. Right, and like, I'm the type of person, like, my toxicity is I will start undressing and like doing sexy shit.
If you cursing me again, I'm gonna suck your dick.
Yeah, but like, and that's that. This motherfucker was just like, he was so passionate. He was toxic as fuck too, but he didn't want, like, that's not what he wanted to happen. He wanted to have these conversations, and it's like, shut the fuck up. Why are we talking about this? Who gives a fuck?
But
fuck
you
me.
Know what? It's almost like I'll have a guy like, you know what? I don't argue with women and I don't let them talk to me kind of way. Ain't no woman ever talked to me like this. And in my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna say whatever. Obviously you liked it because you just said you didn't want to talk to me. Yeah, we've been on the phone for 2 hours, so I can't figure out if you a motherfucking liar or if you want to fuck. That's what I'm thinking in my mind. So if I'm the more moistened, I'm getting shit at this point. I'm fucking Betty Hines, Dunkin' Cracker. What's it called? Dunkin' Hines, Betty Crocker. Excuse me. I am moist like a cake at this point. If you don't come over and fuck me, I don't give a fuck what we arguing about. We can argue about it when we done.
Right.
I need a hot 45 minutes from you. And I do got to come tell you. You want me to come over there or not? Like, when you get done arguing, do you want me to come over there or not? Because I'm finna hop in the tub.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like that. So yeah, I'm terribly toxic, but that's probably the biggest fetish. It's just that control factor. I like being that's somewhat aggressive because like I said, I'm a little California wildfire. So you have to be almost more crazier than me. You have to be a little bit more aggressive so that you can kind of bring me down a little bit. So and like I said, that's a turn on for me. So if anybody like, oh, why would you like somebody like that? That's a turn on for me. That's my preference.
Right, that's your preference.
You can't really come on this side of the water because that's my preference and that's what I like. But I hear so many different fetishes. Guys have pee fetishes. Which that was something that was like, oh, okay, cool. You know,
they want you to pee on them.
And I said, you know what? Let me find somebody that can please you because I won't be able to because I'm particularly not into it.
I will pee on you.
If I gotta smell some pee, I can't even really.
If you ask me to pee on you, I'm gonna pee.
See, I can't do it. If I gotta smell some pissy ass sheets, I'm not even horny no more. So, and that's nothing wrong with it. And that's the thing. I don't judge people, so they tell me everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, oh my God, that's wonderful. Let me find somebody that can please you because I can't. You know what I'm saying? I can't do it. I don't want to. It doesn't turn me on, so I'm not going to do it. And normally I'll try anything once. You know what I'm saying? But if it's something that I'm just not into, it's not turning me on, so I'm not going to do it. But I don't judge you, and I'll help you find somebody that can take on that fetish for you. But yeah, there's all kind of things out there. You'll be surprised, but that's the thing. People don't want to tell their mate
they don't want to talk
because they're scared of being judged. And again, I just want to come to the point where we can effectively talk to our mate and just say, hey, this is what I like. If it's not for that person, then maybe you should be with somebody that it is for, because for everybody that has a fetish, guess what? It's somebody that likes it.
Right. I agree.
So you have to find a mate that you're compatible with, not only sexually, but in all levels. But definitely sex is a big part of relationships. So find somebody you're compatible with.
All right. I agree. I agree. Weirdest thing you've done or been asked to do sexually?
Ooh, weirdest thing. Weird?
Where you were like, that's just, I don't know about that.
Well, the pee thing was weird, but I wouldn't say it was weird. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, nothing's
weird to you.
Much stuff. Like, nothing's really weird. I mean, if it's my mate, I pretty much do anything they kind of ask me. So,
all right.
I don't know. I've heard that there's a older woman, and she likes for her mate to come on her desserts, her cookies, her cakes and stuff like that, and she eats them that way.
Okay. And she not selling this shit, is she?
No. She makes it and she eats it. And no, on the show we talked about Swallowing the Facts was one of the shows, and honestly, sperm is actually good for you.
It's protein.
It's good for you. So I thought, and I'm not gonna say that was weird, because there's certainly nothing weird if you just want your man to, you know what I'm saying? It's certainly nothing weird about it. That's what you and you do. And she's actually married, so they do it all the time.
Right.
They're in a wonderful, happy relationship. So she did find somebody that was okay with her fetish. So shout out to her, because that's all I'm aiming for. That's the ultimate goal. They're happy.
Yes, to connect you with people who are okay
like-minded and okay with experiencing it, and that's okay. I mean, if you find somebody that please you and okay with trying new things and okay with ultimately giving you an experience of whatever your pleasure may be, that's golden right there.
I agree.
That's golden.
Yeah, I love it. What's your take on period sex?
Oh my gosh, that is the horniest time in our lives.
We're always super horny. Ooh. Always. I know when I'm about to start menstruating, because I'm just extremely
you're ready to go.
Riled up and I'm always around.
Extra brownies at night.
Yes.
So I know it's coming. I know she's coming. Listen, there's been, like I said, I was married for 15 years, so I pretty much did everything. Right. I would assume, but if it's really, really like heavy where it's going to be super messy, I'm uncomfortable with the cleanup. Okay. In a sense.
Put a towel down.
But see, that's what I'm saying. If it's towel worthy, I can do it. Right. If it's so much where it's so heavy where I can't, that I don't, and that's literally maybe only 1 or 2 days out the bid. So it's no big deal. But it's the horniest time I am. If I'm horny, I don't give a hell what's going on.
If you can walk through mud, you can fuck through blood.
I'm going to take a bath. I'm going to make sure we're clean. But, if you can have children, it's a higher probability that you can get pregnant at that time. There are certain types of kind of like not a UTI, but there are certain type of infections that you're more prone to get if you have period sex. However, as long as you have one mate, your pH balance should kind of remain constant.
Right.
That only kind of jifts up with when you start just speaking sexually, when you start multiple mating and things like that, that's kind of when your pH start going
right.
awry. But if you're maintaining the same mate and you have period sex, the probability of infections are a lot lower. So that's not really a big deal. Again, if it's not just going to be a crime scene, I'm on board. I never say no to sex. I don't give a fuck what if I can break my leg, my arm, my hip, and be on my period. If I'm horny, come knock this down, boo. Because that's what I'm going to do for you. Come knock this down.
He said she don't give a fuck.
Just a little toxic twat. You hear me?
Toxic twat. Am I going to name this episode Toxic Twat? I don't know.
Yeah,
last question.
That's what he told me. I'm just telling you what he said.
It's my last question. The spitting thing. It's been like I hear conversations all the time, like spitting in the mouth, spitting in your gooch, like, you know, I have conversations with people all the time, like my sister. I'm sorry, sister. She's going to be so angry because she watches every episode. But she likes, for her guy or her ex used to like hockalooey in her vagina. And she said she loved it.
Okay.
I said, what is it you love about it? Do you love the sound of him? Or
well, it depends.
The
if
feeling.
If he did it on her, if he did it and it spit like directly on a click, it's a sensation there.
Okay.
So that absolutely should have turned her on. I like if guys is back there and they're rimming me with their tongue, and if they spit in it, that's definitely a turn on. It turns me on because I do like a lot of anal play, so it does turn me on. Spit in their mouth, I'm not so much into. To be honest, if you're not my main or my mate, I'm not even gonna really tongue. I'm not gonna kiss you.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? So there's definitely other places I prefer your tongue be. So I'm not gonna kiss you, but yeah, spitting on the genitals is definitely a turn on. Like I said, it's a sensation thing.
Okay.
It's wet, especially if you're throwing the spit out there, it's gonna hit it kind of hard. So it's a sensation thing. It feels.
How
good.
do people start? You just triggered something in me, and the reason it was triggered because I watched Pretty Woman a few days ago.
Pretty Woman,
and she when she tells Richard Gere she doesn't kiss because it's too personal.
Too personal.
How do people start off sex if it's not with a kiss? Like
most of the time, to be honest, well, not even most of the time. I'm gonna say it like this: if you're in a situation, sex ain't personal.
Right.
If we're in a situation, which means we're not in a relationship, sex is a business transaction.
Right.
In every sense of the word, it's something it's a physical transaction.
Yes.
Honestly. So there's no reason for me to get intimate with somebody that I'm just going to be physical with in a sense. Now, I don't mind if you can kiss me on my neck. We can start with a little hug. We can slow dance a little bit. I like to dance. You put on a little reggae music. We can start dancing, a little African dance, what have you. There's so many ways of foreplay that kissing shouldn't even be a topic if we're not in an intimate relationship. Kissing is not a topic with me personally. I don't do it.
Okay.
So I don't want to. You know what I'm
saying? I used to be like that. I used to be like, don't kiss me. Nope. But now, like, I guess it's because as of lately, like the people that I've been intimate with have been people that I would consider like the last person I was heavy with. We were like actually in a relationship, so kissing was a factor. And then my latest sexcapade, that's years of history. And
so you established a relationship with these people.
Yeah. Okay. And like I try not to like have situations where a relationship isn't established. And I went through a period of celibacy for a long
you did?
I did. And I've done it several times. And I had a guy ask me like how much sex were you having where you felt like you needed to take a break from sex?
I ain't got that much willpower. I'll be honest.
I do it for myself, and my homegirl be like, my best friend, she's like, Mo, please go get you some dick. Like, quit fucking playing with yourself. And like, I literally, at one time I did it for like almost 2 years.
Oh my God.
Yes. The most recent time that I did it, it was over a year.
What?
And it was like when between me and my ex-fiance that lives in Atlanta, between us splitting up, and me coming home and then COVID and being quarantined and shit. Yeah, like over a year I was without sex, and then
now if it's celibacy,
and it was intentional. Like,
I mean, if it's like you just don't want to have sex for whatever reason, it could be, you know, religion, whatever reason. But I mean, if you're in a relationship and you guys are in two different towns at the moment and things happen, that I understand.
No, it wasn't about us because we had split up. We had split up.
Okay, so you were free to.
Yeah, I was free to do whatever I wanted to do, as much sex as I wanted.
And you said I
didn't. I was just in a place where I wanted to gain some clarity. So I just like, I go on these little journeys. Like I went like a few years ago, I had a spiritual awakening, like a real life spiritual awakening, like no bullshit. Like I know I did my research because I didn't know what the fuck was going on. And I feel like in a sense, I'm still in it. I'm still going through it. Okay. But I literally went through like a spiritual awakening, and I was not having sex, like literally multiple times a day, praying, yoga, meditation, and I just had so much fucking clarity, and you know the glow of our skin when we're having sex, like my fucking skin was pristine. I was glowing. I had no pimples, nothing. Like my weight, I was like literally the perfect weight. And like Celibacy, the bloating, I'm shocked too. I look, I'm not ashamed, but I'm shocked that I'm telling.
We gonna talk about celibacy on the operating room, and I'm gonna invite you up. I don't know if I can do it. I'm gonna be honest.
And
I'm
it was
angry.
Yeah, and like people around me were like, "Why are you doing this to yourself?" Because they know how much I love to have sex. But I did it for me. I didn't do it for anybody else. It was solely for me. And the first time I did it, I was trying to see if I could do it. It started off as a game, like how long can I go without sex? It started off as a game. It was me seeing if I could resist this temptation? One somebody, like the temptation, and lo and behold, this is the person like that just recently came back into my life, where like, and he's like, you just disappeared on me, and I did. I just like,
I'm a ghost. Now you on power.
Like the last text, and the funniest thing, I went back and I found the very last text that I sent him or that we exchanged, and this was in 2018, and this was right before I left and went to Atlanta. I said, this is my last weekend. At this point, me and the guy in Atlanta, we were heavy in it. But this was my one motherfucker that I just could never say no. He could pull up to my house at 2, 3 in the morning. Listen, he turned me down. He didn't show up. 2, 3. This boy could pull up at my house 2, 3 in the morning. He'd be on the side of my window. Mo, open the door. I don't give a fuck what I was doing, where I was at. He knew he had me like that. He could show up. Ooh. And I text him. I said, this is my last weekend in St. Louis. Can you come fuck me? And he did not reply to my text message. At all. And we didn't, after that, like I hadn't talked to him, hadn't seen him or anything. Then I run into him, and here we are 3 years later.
You know I fucked that nigga so good.
Hey, I did.
I would fuck him so good. Excuse me, sir.
But yeah, man. So
like, this is what you missed out on in the text message from 2018.
Yeah. So I did. I went on the celibacy journey, and I've done it before, and I honestly was contemplating doing it again. And then this situation presented itself. Like, I didn't plan this. I didn't expect it. It was just, it wasn't meant for me to go on a celibacy journey again. Like she said, let's pray about it.
Dear Lord, I would love it if I would have enough self-restraint to give up a well-endowed man. The problem is, Jesus, you know my heart like no one else. And I've never been able to give up a well-endowed man, especially if he has a long tongue, Lord.
Oh, Lord.
I would like for you to guide my heart any way possible. Now, if it's somebody got a big dick and a big tongue, I do want you to direct me to him if he is the one for me. But if not, if I'm strong enough to go celibate for at least a week, let's start with there. Amen. Thank you for praying with me.
You're absolutely welcome. I pray that you can accomplish that. Because like I said, I've gone over 2 years, and I've gone the last time was over a year.
I just don't, like I said, I'm not good at it because I rely on the orgasmic experience. I rely on it so much for positive things.
I mean, you can masturbate because that's another thing. Masturbation.
Can you?
Listen, I did masturbate, and here's the thing about me: I never was a masturbator, and I was in between situations and not wanting to sleep with anybody else. So I had a toy and I started using it, and that got me through some situations. Right, so
but that's cool because you kind of had a substitute in a sense. So
I had a substitute, but it's never the same because I'm one of those people, like I need physical touch. I need warm body, human being, a man.
Dominating me, controlling me. Yes. I don't know. You know what? There was a point where in my life I've never went past 72 hours without having sex.
Wow.
Never. So it's like, I'm telling you, if it got
you
to
would
that
never
third
survive
day,
in my world.
If it got to that third day, my ex-husband could tell you I was slamming doors. I wasn't cooking. I mean, I would be literally angry, but not even really clear on what I'm angry about. Just know I was used to that release.
Just sexually frustrated.
That's it. It's like, you know what? When I get to a good relationship and a good place, right now I'm still kind of toxic, so I'm not really looking for a relationship. But when I get to a good place, I don't want to go longer than. I mean, if we're going 3 days and you don't want to touch me, you know what I'm saying? That's an issue.
What are we doing? Like, why are we doing this?
On me after 72 hours, I mean, it's crazy. And I was literally like, I don't want to go, you know what I'm saying, 3 days without, mating with my husband. That's preposterous. And people's like, you guys have sex almost every day. That's what we did. I didn't even know his full name until we were 7 years in. I'd already had a baby, didn't really even know his name for real. So it's like we was sexing all the time, every day. I looked up one day, I'm like, I don't even know you for real. I don't even like you because we was having so much sex. And
good sex can keep you in a situation way longer than you should have been. Like, shit is good and expired, and good sex will keep you there, man.
Let's just do it. Well, I've said that before. Let's just do it. You know what? I need some clarity. I understand that this is kind of over, but I just want to make sure it's over. Like, I'm gonna swing past tonight.
I do that shit.
You end up fucking this, like, I'm gonna call you tomorrow.
It's not over. It's not over.
I'm gonna call you tomorrow.
We gonna shut down the toxicity of it all right here, right now. Shout out to fucking Big Stu Films producing the episode. Shout out to my homegirl, Dr. Ebony, host of The Operating Room. The Operating Room. Plug your socials real quick.
Social media. So it's The Operating Room or The Operating Room ENT on Facebook, on Instagram. I can't remember Twitter, so I'm just gonna say the Facebook, Instagram. Okay. But it's The Operating Room or The Operating Room ENT everywhere. And every Sunday night, mycitymymusic.com. Check out The Operating Room. I am the doctor. We're gonna break down all things sex, love, and relationships. So feel free to email me, and my email address is the doctor at theoperatingrooment.com. So feel free to email me if you guys have any questions, concerns, just want to hear a topic or whatever. Again, thank you for having me today.
Absolutely. I appreciate you for coming out, sharing in my energy space. Last minute, I had a cancellation and I reached out to Ebony, and she's like, I'll let you know. And she came back an hour or two later and was like, I'm there. It works.
Check my Palm Pilot.
Yes.
So yeah, no, I'm always down to support, especially when it's a black female. You know that I'm always definitely down to support and just kind of uplift, because we all out here, and it's best if we just kind of stick together. That's what I believe.
I agree.
It's best if we stick together. So at the end of the day, you need me, I can rearrange my schedule, whatever. If I can get it done, I'll get it done. So I'm definitely here.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you saying that, sis. I absolutely do. Appreciate you coming out, sharing in my energy space. I appreciate the fuckers for listening, commenting. Thank you for the subscriptions that you when you subscribe on the YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button on YouTube. You can check us out on all listening platforms: Apple, Amazon, Google Play, Anchor, Speaker, wherever the fuck you listen to podcasts, we're there. I'm there. You guys know where to find me on social media. I'm SOO Sophisticated One on Instagram, or pure_fuckery. Twitter, it's SOO Mo, and Facebook, Monique Ross. Again, if you need social media content. Cum Towels. If you want to get a cum towel, get at my girl Ebony from the operating room. Look up. You can get you a cum towel. I got my cum towel now. I might go use it as soon as I leave here.
Everybody
I
should use it. Everybody should use it. I use my cum towel as often as I can see fit as I try to. But now you know the toxic situation is over, so I might be on the market.
She might be on the market. The toxic situation is over. Are you single? So
I am.
Technically, yes, you're single.
I'm single. If you hear this, you probably said, no, I'm just kidding. I am definitely single at this point. So yeah, I won't be using my cum towel tonight unless I call a situation. So number 2, number 3 might come into play because there is no more number 1.
There's no more number 1.
It's the Umbrella Academy around here. So
if you're looking to move, get to number 1, hey, hit my girl Ebony up.
Take me on a date? No, I'm just kidding. You want to take me on a date? We won't be using cum towels on a date though. So
that comes later.
Like, don't get it confused, and that's a lot of thing. When you was asking me, do people judge me, or how do I respond when people, what people say about me? A lot of times they think, oh my God, she must fuck anybody anytime. Right, let me try her, and it's never it's like that. They come to find out it's a little bit harder than what they thought.
This ain't that, yo. This ain't that, yo, man.
I like to have sex a lot, not with anybody. That's the difference. So. You guys just pay attention to that.
Hey, y'all heard it from Miss Dr. Ebony here. Hey. I'm your fucking host. It's your favorite Dr. Bay, Monique Ross. I'll catch you all in the next episode. Till then, love and light to you all. Godspeed. Thank you for sharing in your energy space, in my energy space, Ebony. I'll catch you all in the next episode. Peace.
Bye.